5 similarities between the mitochondrial chloroplast and bacterial cells are: they all have their own DNA, they all reproduce on their own, they also all have their own ribosomes, they all have their own membranes, and they all are sensitive to antibiotics. The endosymbiotic theory was first introduced by Lynn Margulis in 1967. It is the explanation of the evolution of eukaryotic cells. First came the anaerobic bacteria 3.5 million years ago, which is toxic to oxygen. Then came photosynthetic bacteria 2.5 million years ago, which uses the sun's energy to make sugar. It releases oxygen, therefore creating a toxic environment for anaerobic cells. Photosynthetic bacteria can be found in the chloroplast. 1.5 million years ago, we then got the aerobic bacteria, which use oxygen to create energy and water. They were the best suited for an environment with oxygen. They can be found in the mitochondria. Now that we've understood what type of environment the anaerobic, photosynthetic, and aerobic cells work in, let's explain endosymbiosis. Symbiotic is a mutually benefiting relationship between two organisms. For aerobic bacterial cells to function, it must be engulfed by an anaerobic bacterium. But you may ask how? Because the anaerobic cannot survive in an environment with oxygen. Well, that's where the aerobic cell can take care of the oxygen, while the anaerobic cell will ingest food and provide protection for the aerobic bacteria, also creating a double. The difference between the endosymbiotic theory 1 and 2 is that the first theory created a mitochondria, and the second involved both the mitochondria and the chloroplast. Evolution occurred twice in this case. First came the anaerobic bacteria that engulfed the aerobic bacteria and created a mitochondria-containing cell. Previously merged cell would now intend to engulf or merge with the photosynthetic bacteria and then create a chloroplast-containing cell. This would be called the endosymbiotic theory. It is believed to have occurred twice because all eukaryotes have a mitochondria, but only photosynthetic eukaryotes have a chloroplast. Phylogeny gives an outline of the evolutionary events that happened and provides possible relations between different organisms' ancestry. In the case of endosymbiotic theory, it supports the evidence that a mitochondria is related to a proteobacteria, and the chloroplast evolved from the engulfment of a cyanobacteria.
The endosymbiotic theory can be easily compared to the Declaration of Independence. The endosymbiotic theory being the explanation of how modern eukaryotes evolved from prokaryotes, in a way declaring their independence from a single-cell organism to a multicellular one. Just like how the colonists evolved from Great Britain, but would later declare their independence as a nation. In the endosymbiotic theory, there were prokaryotes back in that time large enough to engulf other prokaryotes that could use the sun to gain food, and another prokaryote that used oxygen to produce energy. Together, they would all live as symbiotes, just like how Great Britain colonized or engulfed North America, which led to the formation of colonists in which mercantilism was practiced, where the colonists produced raw goods and sent it to the mother country to create the final product, showing their own symbiotic relationship. The eukaryotes would now cluster and band together to create more complex organisms, like us, which led to the overall abundance, as we see, societies, all kinds of organisms, and civilizations. Now the colonists were also said to have done the same. They all came together to establish their identity as a nation and declare independence, which allowed them to break the shackles of Great Britain and grow and develop into the world superpower that it is today.